Hello everyone. So I've come in to do a recording with my guides, and I do believe it's about the subject of our children on earth, because the last few weeks since I've been at my spiritual hub, when I've been sitting with people, it's funny how our conversations have gone round to children, and how our children are our future, and how now is the point where we should be spiritually enlightening them in a positive way, and how that lacks in the education of our children from schools through to parenting. So that's what they want to come and talk about, I do believe. The other thing is that my trance has altered in the last few months. I've just tell you this scenario just so for those that are sitting in trance and working in the trance energies, developing, you can understand this. My guide, John, who came to me over 6 years ago, first presented himself as a human form of a professor of an earth life he'd chosen to experience so he could understand humanity and humans on earth. And he died in the 1957. He then was my teacher, drove all my work forward, and then he became my main trance guide as well. And then a while ago, he introduced another guide to me. I'd had a few guides come in to do trance, but then he introduced a new one to me, and he said he's from the same race. And he, about 3 years ago, he had chosen to reveal to me who he truly was, where he was from, because with my writings, I'd elevated into an higher understanding from all the knowledge they'd been channeling me. So he felt I was ready to understand him in his true form. And he's a light conscious being from a collective of beings called the Salcaritons, for our understanding. He's multi-dimensional. He can send, which means that he can alter himself into a physical body if he wishes to walk among a planet. He's highly telepathic, a very highly telepathic race of beings, way beyond our understanding, basically. So when this new guide came, and he said she's from the same race, she came through, and she felt like a feminine energy, and he felt like a male energy, and that's how they presented themselves to me. It was like yin and yang. And she came through in a different way of talking, and he came through as more of a male way of talking, a deeper voice and more husky. Now, this new guide, as an individual, told me that she'd been the higher self for someone who'd been very prominent in this field of work and hypnotherapy and stuff. And on her death, this higher self being, which is one of the Salcaritons, had carried on working and had come to work with people like me and works with other people as well. And so she presents herself often as the energy of this person that passed over to people, and they recognise it because it was quite a famous person. So that's quite interesting. But what's really interesting to me is how my trance has changed the last couple of months, and the energies felt different. So at one point I thought I had a new guide, but what's actually happened is they apparently come in fives. They travel the universe in fives, they support each other, they work together however they're working, so they could show themselves present themselves as an individual to the human, but actually there's five of them behind us. So if you actually if you actually heard people say, I work with the 12, I work with the 9, I work with the 7, I work with the 5. You know, if you're actually in the circle of people working like this, you can hear these different phrases. Google 9 beings and see what comes up, you know, celestial beings. And so what are they doing now? They're now not presenting themselves as single entities to me. They're presenting themselves as this 5 collective of Salcaritons that now are still working with me and are going to do the trance with me. So the way they're coming through me has altered the energy, and they're readjusting it. So the way I speak now, I presume might alter a bit. I don't know. I have to watch it. But the last two, when I've looked back at the videos, I've noticed there's a change. Sometimes I thought John was there. Sometimes I thought Mary was there. And yet when I was in trance, I wasn't aware of this interaction going on. And now that I understand what's happening, that is what was happening. It was like they were both still there, and they were showing me through my voice that they're there. But now it's going to be one voice. Not individuals speaking through me. They're communicating now as the five, they've said. So that's quite interesting. And apparently this is very common with trance sitters. There's not enough understanding of the guides and who they are. And quite often, because they're presented as this guy could call themselves Rob or whatever, or they've said they've had this highly ascended life, and they come through and they do amazing trance work with the sitter. It could well be there's a collective of beings there channeling that and presenting that in a way that that sitter and the audience would feel comfortable, if that makes sense. So anyway, we're going to go into trance now. I'll do what I always do. I'll put in the text at the bottom. So I just have a drink. When my Salcaritons guides have come through, so I'm not going to be called John and Mary anymore. They just want to be known as the five, the Salcaritons guides that work with me, because that's what they truly are. So it's quite amazing, really. Well, I think it is. So it's pretty cool. So I'll just take my glasses off. So I'll go down into trance, and then they'll come through and say what they have to say. So I'll see you in a bit. Greetings to all that view this video. We bring you a message today as a collective. And we do like the description that our friend gave, which we thought explained it quite well, of her progress with us as beings working with her through the trance energy. And we want to talk about the subject of the collective of children on your earth. They are the light. They are the future of humanity. And we are raising this awareness in the work of many light workers across the world to bring spiritual understanding at a level to a child, to change their perspective on their reality and how they look at their human 3D life through interactions with other humans. When a child is chosen to come to Earth, the ethereal connection is selected. The higher self is also selected. And the soul is a reflection of the higher self, which can be a light or physical highly ascended being. And the plan of that life is laid out in a cosmic pattern to be lived and learnt from. All lives have purpose for humanity's ascension. When the child is being created in the womb, it has no fear. It has the safety of the mother's womb, the safety of its guides around it, which has been pre-selected, the soft connection to the higher self, and the ethereal form is already connected with the physical presence of that child. When that child is born, it's like a bombshell hitting the 3D energy, from the pureness to a very heavy energy that can contain love and compassion, but also contains hate, fear, jealousy, self-doubt. The challenge then for that young being, with its support network of higher self and ethereal connection to the quantum domain, creative energy, the pureness of love, is to navigate its way through the 3D path it has chosen for itself through its life, however long that life may be, from 1 week to 99 years, whatever it is. The memories of the connection with the ethereal self, all that is there that has been discussed before the birth, the presence of others, is forgotten in the 3D existence when that human takes his first breath. And then depending on the life of that child to be lived, will depend on whether they can connect with, should we say, reconnect with this ethereal energy that exists with all the answers of the beautiful universal energy. The child is born pure of heart, pure of mind. It is the influence of those that are the elders of humanity, that then will navigate and create the narrative of that child's life. Now I hear you say, why can't every child have a pure, amazing, existent life? Why do we have to be born for these challenges that we set ourselves? It is because humanity is still in a very heavy energy. And you are so naive and negative and narrow-minded in your existence. We would have to remove most of humanity from the planet to create the ascension level required at a quicker pace, because we would only have to be able to keep those that are highly ascended and understand this of what we're saying, to create the perfect world for humanity to live in. But I use the word perfect. Is there a perfect world? I say to you. It is again how you interpret it, isn't it, in your perception of reality. Is our world perfect? Is our collective perfect? No, we grow continuously. We learn continuously. Well, we are quite pleased of where we are in our evolution over millions of years. The child has a challenge. The child is here to bring change to humanity. The child could be the future light worker, the future nurse, the future dustman man, the future road sweeper, the climber of mountains. The child will have a purpose in its life. Its purpose might be to die young. Its purpose might be to grow old and bring great wisdom to those that will listen in its latter years. The purpose is whatever it is best for humanity. So then you might say, why would we have a child starving? Why would you let a child fear war, experience death around it, see its parents killed in a bomb? Why are children born deformed that you class as different to yourself in your 3D reality? Why? We hear so much why. And this is why we bring this understanding to you today, is because each child has a purpose for the ascension of humanity. It could be a catalyst to create something better from its death. So if a child is born and dies quickly, or a child lives to say the age of 16 and takes its own life, it is a catalyst event. And from that event, we would wish to see good come. So like raising money for charity to help other children try to navigate this world, which is in such turmoil it causes mental disease and stress. You have so many facets to this story that we tell you today. The pollution on the planet is affecting the physical form of all children. Plastics are being discovered at quantum levels in human brains. It sits within the deepest oceans and the highest atmospheres. So the education that we need to bring to our children from the human point of view is the education of cleansing the planet, bringing the planet back to how she used to be before man started to pollute her. And this is through lack of education. We have to take some blame for this. Of the many species that are the architects of Earth, we have to take some blame because we let Earth run its course for far too long. And when the First and Second Worlds occurred, with disease in between, and societies falling through money, and the bomb being created, your atom bomb, and the knowledge that we had given to those that would be able to help Earth in a good way had abused it, we felt we had left you too long. We should have interfered with the First World War. So we regrouped ourselves as guides, as overseers, and we took the decision to come back and make ourselves more prominent in your lives and existence. And the year was 1947 in your Earth year. We then decided to bring the children of a higher elevated energy that would work with you and change your world. And if you look through your history, the children of the 60s, the 70s, we would call them, for your understanding, star children. But every child is a star child. Why are you called a star child? Because your ethereal body comes from the energies that creates the stars. Your higher selves come from many galactics across the universe. the stars. So you come from the stars. You are celestial. Your children are celestial. You're just at a lower grade than we are. And we would like you to be where we are. So the child is the ignition. It is the key to your change. We ask all parents to work with your children to bring a calmness to their mind through meditation. Understanding that kindness is the way forward, not being spiteful. So the parents now, it is hard for us to get a message to 8 billion people in this world to start changing your parenting to your child, because unfortunately you are of the old school. You're coming from the generations that are coming out of the 3D energy. But the next set of parents that are coming, which is the children you have now that will grow up, they will have more of an understanding of this spiritual light we talk about. And the awakening period of COVID was one of these triggers to bring a deeper core understanding. It might not be something that's discussed day to day over your cups of teas and your dinners, but it is something that will be deep in the core to bring out to the children that are born, to those families. It could be uncles and aunties. And then the children born to that generation will be even more enlightened. Do you see my way, my purpose? And eventually your education systems will change. The light will be seen. The labelling of your children is wrong. They've been put into boxes for ADHD and many other words that I could bring forward that they are being labelled as. Now I want to bring something of enlightenment to you around this, because these children are of highly ascended energy and they are having trouble coping in the 3D world and see it as a different perspective to your heavier 3D children. They have trouble navigating the systems that are in place on Earth, especially in the Western world. So they have been labelled. I'm sorry, the human body sometimes reacts to our energies. So we are just calming down. Oh, yes. Sometimes when we, the collective of 5, are using the voice box. And the energy is stronger, so her physical form is reacting to it, which is interesting for us to observe at this time. But we do wish to control and the energies, which is fine now, and we will carry on with our information for you. So the children, as we were saying, they are part of your world and the education system, which needs to change. And we feel that the time has come now for the understanding across the planet to bring into the education system slowly through the generations I have just spoken about. The changes that need to come in slowly for changes to happen, for humanity to ascend. Each one of you has the capability of being telepathic, and you are an actual telepathic celestial race, but you're just, as you're in the lower grade energy at the moment, it is not used much, but the many of you that work with the light worker energies will have morely ascended telepathic minds now, and you will be working more in the fourth and fifth dimension. These children that are labelled are coming in the fourth and fifth dimension energies above the 3D energy. So that is why they're having trouble navigating your world, as I was saying. But we are also bringing people from the spiritual side of understanding and the science side to work with these children. And eventually through this method in the human race, there will become an understanding of this spiritual growth and why these children are more elevated and why they cannot navigate your world at the moment. But as you ascend with each generation, these highly ascended children will become more and more as each generation reborns new children. And these will not have these labels anymore because the behaviour will be more elevated in the planet as a whole. And the planet will be able to support the humans, and the humans support Mother Earth, not polluting her, and the vibrations will be higher. And that is how humanity will ascend. But it's through the children that this will happen. You know, some children are born into families of really negative ways of understanding. And they have low hopes of themselves, and they see that low hope for their children because they can't see beyond that energy that they are in. So we are now trying to change all that on Earth. We're trying to make Earth more affluent, more evenly spread across the planet. The wealth is with all. Wealth doesn't have to be greed. Wealth can be as much as having a house over your head and food on your table and being warm. So societies that care and look out for each other. And unfortunately for you, my friends, you have to go through the turmoil you're facing at the moment on Earth to deal with this. The wars, the people taking hold of power at the moment. There's a force of light and good going on Earth at the moment. And we do not feel we are losing to the darkness because we know we have to go through this for humanity to ascend and see there is light and a better way of being and behaving. And that is what the future children will bring. So fight for those wars to end. Speak your mind. Say to those out there, I do not agree with this. I do not agree with war. Be the person that stands up and speaks. Be the person that runs a group to help local children so they're not destructive on the streets. Make sure the child next door has food. Bring the light into where it needs to be. And even if you yourself face ridicule for this, or people do not understand your change, why should that bother you, my friend? Because you are the light, you are the change. And your children will be the change. The children are the future of this Earth's humanity. So we say to you, they are the light. Even if it's a cuddle on a sofa and you ask your child or your grandchild the day and they say, oh, my friend fell out with me today and did this. And you say to that child, what did you do? Oh, I was mean back. Or perhaps they didn't do anything and they were just upset. And the conversation can be, no matter how cruel that child is to you, my friend, send it love. Send love back to that friend. Think of it differently. Think perhaps that friend is unhappy. And you start to change the minds of children. Meditation in small doses can change that outlook on a day. It will change children's behaviour because their perspective starts to change. They see things differently. They're giving their mind a rest. And when a mind has a rest in the now energy of the quantum connection of the universe, that is when things start to change, the perspectiveness of existence. So, are you the light? You I'm talking to now, are you the light? Are you going to be the change? I'd say yes, because you've watched this video. You have been led to this video to be the change. Take time to reflect, my friends, on how you can be the change. It could be one small thing, or it could be something massive where you include many other people, raising money to help children, starting a youth group, whatever it is, it's change that needs to take place. Positiveness needs to be there for every child on this planet to see. So I shall leave it there with you, my friends. We apologise for the energy distortion, but it is quite good that we've actually managed to settle that without having to come out of trance. It was a point for us on that one, because the five of us together linking telepathically now through her is in different energy to what she's been used to for over 6 years, when we have been with her in different ways doing the trance work. And before that there were different guides working with her, but we took over. And this is very common in the trance journey, my friends. You will have different guides because we are like gloves that fit you. We wrap our energies around you to blend, and we blend through the subconscious point at the back of the head. We won't go into too much details about that, but that is how we connect telepathically with all humans. It varies from race to race through the universe, but with humans, that is the way we do it. So that is the way we have been communicating today. So we better go now and let her find her energy again, and we will reset her as we step back so she feels okay. Oh, my face is wet. Must have been crying. Dear. Oh, okay. I felt something happen in the middle of that. I think I came back in a bit and then I went back out, so I shall watch it back as always, and if it's okay I shall put it out on YouTube, so if you see it you know it was okay. I always say this at the end, it's silly, isn't it? Yeah, so that did feel different to me as a sitter. I felt, okay, how can I describe this? I felt like they come through here. I felt like the energy was going through me. It was it was like it's being channeled differently. That's the only thing I've come back feeling was different. That was I get a symbol at the beginning where I get this energy sign come up in, it's like I see it in my head. I see it behind my eyes. Because you know when you shut your eyes and you see your eyelids, it's like I get this energy come in. And then I hear we are ready, that's them, as they're always ready. And then I feel a shift, that's when I shift. So, yeah, it's interesting. It has altered. So I'll see how it progresses over the next few months. So, yeah, see you all soon. Take care. Sending you love and light. And, yeah, have a good one. Bye.